Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, SayerSports and I are here to welcome you to round one of season 29 of the TGP1 Championship. We're here at the fabulous Monza circuit for round one in this mixed calendar season, which will see us end up in Abu Dhabi in June. We have got a full lineup plus reserves for this season, and this promises to be one of the most exciting seasons of TGP1 we should have in a long time. Settings, of course, for TGP1 that we run here, 25% races with 2 races running each night. Parc Fermé on, equal car performance and assists with that are allowed. The point system that we run for the league here is quite a unique one, which makes things a little bit exciting and gives something for the drivers to fight for, with normal real-life F1 points being run for the top 5, and then from there downwards we run from 9, 8, 7, 6 and onwards from 6th all the way to 14th. This season for TGP1 as well, we have 5 former champions racing with us. So we have James with 6 titles. He'll be racing in a Williams, so watch out for him. Jean on 2 titles, racing in a Renault. We have Dan with 4 titles to his name, racing in the McLaren. Softy, a more recent champion of 2 times, racing in a Red Bull. And latterly, we have the reigning champion of Jake, who will be racing again this season in a Force India. Other people to keep an eye out for are the 5 TGP2 champions we have, which is Dom Smith, who's racing in a Sauber. We've got Paul racing in a Ferrari, Owen a Red Bull, Alex in the Haas, and Martin, the reigning TGP2 champion, racing in a Mercedes. We have 7 drivers that will be making their debut with us this season. We have Odems, Paga, LD Racing, Smokey J's, Matt, Luca and Silent Assassin will all be making their TGP1 debuts with us this season. And we have the veterans, the old boys, that will be also making up the rest of the grid in Jack, Ritson and Phil. The qualifying we are into now, there's just 3 minutes left, and so far at least we have a very much clear-cut favourite who is also been given the favourite from Bet Noon. He is currently retired from the session just after posting a 19.9, and at the moment he has an 8/10 of a second cushion to second place driver Jamie Day. So in the last 2.5 minutes it's going to be very interesting to see if any drivers can get close to Odems on that 19.9. So watch out for drivers like Jamie, who in pre-season look very fast. Softy never fails to disappoint at any track, and has also started using a wheel, so will that make a difference to his performances? Jake, of course, reigning champion, currently sat there in 3rd, and the rest of the new boys and former champions that we have gone through. The drivers are in full concentration. Jamie has called it a day, and he will be going no faster than a 20.2, which is already faster than the pole time we had last year, which is set by Jake, who did a 20.5. Softy's given up the ghost. He's going to be stuck at best in 4th on a 20.8. Lining up now to start their final couple of laps. Going to get anywhere near those front spots. But then, it's a little quiet before the storm. I think most drivers are out on their flying laps or out laps. Let's try and see who's quite near the end of a lap at the moment. We've got Jake, who's just about to start begin a lap. Paga's coming up towards the end of Sector 2. Let's watch him through the final sequence of corners. The Ferrari driver, Phil Bargewell, has popped up to 3rd in the meantime, also on a 20.8. So we've got 3 drivers at the moment on a 20.8. Jack Pearson's given up the ghost as well. He's going to be qualifying no better than 10th. Good effort from the TGP2 runner-up of last season. As we watch Paga now coming into the Parabolica. James has also given up the ghost. He's going to be no better than 10th. Someone slipped up into the top 10. But we're going to watch Paga up to the line now with 50 seconds to go. He improves to 3rd. And Phil Barger is going to have to find some more time on the table. So, where is Phil? He's just starting Sector 1. I think he and his teammate Owen. And Jake is going to be going no quicker. He's going to be 5th at best. Phil, I can't tell if it doesn't seem like he's on a particularly hot lap. He's not, so that's it for Phil. He's going to be no better than 4th. Martin's on a lap at the moment in the Mercedes. What about Jonas? He's way down there in 8th. He needs to really pull his finger out if he's going to be challenging the top few. Silent Assassin announced himself very well in the TGP2 season a couple of seasons ago. and will really want to make a name for himself as quickly as possible in TGP1. Pagger's going no quicker. He's going to be third at best. Is anyone else on the lap? Dom Smith, he's just starting one. Owen Quimby's coming up to the Parabolica now. Is he going to be able to improve on P13 on his first run? Unseen by the cameras, he did put it in a wall and bashed him with his front wing. But Owen's going to be the first man to check the checker flag. Where's he going to go? He can only improve to 12th for the time being. Silent Assassin then, coming into the last sector. Is he going to improve on 9th? Is he going to... Martin has also crossed the line in the meantime. He's going to be no better than 7th. Dom Smith has given up the ghost. He's going to be no better than 13th. Unlucky for some. But Silent Assassin then, as he exits the final corner. Nice, tidy last corner. Jonas is going to be no better than 8th. Where is Silent Assassin going to go? He doesn't improve on P9. And we're only waiting now for Ritson to finish a lap, and he goes up to 9th. He pushes James outside the top 10, who is qualifying on the softs, it's interesting to mention, so he's going to get a free choice of tyres for the race. So that is that, with Phil in the pits and everyone else taking the checker flag or retiring prior. Then that's qualifying. So we'll give you a rundown of the qualifying orders. So on pole position in his first race, making a serious name for himself, is Odems. Widely regarded as the favourite coming into this weekend, and so far he's proving us right. Then we got Jamie joining him on the front row. A fantastic debut performance for him as well. We got Pagger in third, so 3 new boys occupying the top 3. Phil Barswell, one of the veterans, in 4th. Reigning champion Jake in 5th, with his old sparring partner Softy joining him on the 3rd row. Martin, reigning TGP2 champion, as we mentioned, will be in 7th. Jonas, former champion, of course, 2 times, down there in 8th. He won't be happy with that. Ritson in 9th, and it's Silent Assassin who is rounding out your top 10. Well then, I'd like to know who your money's on, because I have no idea who's going to take this. Turn 1 is going to be very interesting indeed. It's going to be interesting to see what some of the drivers think throughout. We'll try and get some words with them as we go through, as well as some live reaction to anything that might happen during the race itself. So as drivers make finals tweaks to the strategy, how much fuel are they going to put in for the start and for the race? Are they going to be able to run a little bit more aggressively, or are some going to take a little bit out and run a little bit more conservatively? We're about to find out as the final few drivers just getting in their cars, sorting out the seatbelts now. Last few chats with the engineers, the wags, and we're all ready to go. So line up in the grid for Monza. We got 3, we got 4, we have 5 lights in TGP1, and we're underway. It's a great start from Odems and Jamie. We've got a Red Bull who's had a bit of a difficult one in the back. And we've got a Ferrari now that's challenging around the outside. That's Pagger. And we've got a Red Bull that's going to have a little look up the inside. But for the time being, it's Linus third for Odems. He's done exactly what he needs to do. Pagger, as said, has jumped ahead of Jamie into 2nd place. Then we've got Jake, who's up to 4th. Great start for him. I don't know what's happened to Phil. We've got a yellow flag further down. There's a car in the wall. It's Ritson and Silent Assassin. And that's a disastrous start to their season for those two. We've got a lot of lockups going into the tricky second chicane. We've got Softcott bouncing over the carbs, and he's got Jonas all over his back. But Softcott holds on for it for now. Out at the front then, Odems has already got over a 2nd lead. He is streaking away. Oh, we got a car in the wall. It's Mercedes. Who is that? That's Jamie. Oh, dear. And he's lost half of his front wing, and that is not the start he would have wanted. And he's going to have to pit with the damage he's got there. That's not ideal at all. So he will be fuming inside the cockpit there. A really good grip position, but he hasn't used it to full avail. And Odems, as we come towards the Parabolica for the first time, has already got a 2.5 lead. There's no one even close to him. Pagger's under a lot of pressure from the reigning champion of Jake, who a lot of people thought wasn't going to be on the pace this year. He's proven them wrong so far. Jamie is in the pits now. Phil's dropped back a little bit from this group, but would of course have been jumped back up to 4th thanks to Jamie's little incident. And here we go, Jake is going to have a look around the outside into turn 1. Difficult braking zone. Ritson's gone. Jake's holding on to it. There's a bit of contact between him and the Dutchman. And the Dutchman's gone wide, and Phil's now going to try and get into 2nd place. Controversial stuff from the reigning champion, but he didn't get to that position without it. And Phil's hanging on in there. He's going to try and go around the outside into, oh, well, we turned 4 or 5 here. Jake's had a little bit of an oversteer. I don't know where Phil's gone. Where is Phil gone? Oh, he's there. He's third. He is third, ladies and gentlemen. And the race now just needs to take a little time to settle down. But I tell you who has settled down into a great rhythm. That's Odems. Look at him there. He's streaking clear. No one's even within sight of him anymore. And we've got to keep out for people like Softcop, like Johners, like Martin. They're all very good at their racecraft. And they're going to try and get onto this podium with as much as they can, really. And Ritson's joined us again, which is great news. We've got Jamie right down the bottom with Silent Assassin. Of course, Ritson, those three being involved in incidents on lap 1. James O'Connor's dropped down to 13th. Dom Smith is up to 12th. Great start for him and Chiapelli. But the big winner of the start so far has been Paul McGuinness. Right up there in 8th place. The man racing in the Tifosi has climbed 7 positions so far. And Odems is streaking clear with another fastest lap. We've got DRS enabled. We've got a yellow flag in the background somewhere. And Jack Pearson's in the pits. So I don't know if this is a scheduled stop. But he has promoted the Sauber of Luca, making his debut. Good to mention him. Nice to see the Italian Isle of Man driver racing in a Sauber. He's going to want some good results. We've got another yellow flag in Sector 3. I don't know what that's for. Doesn't seem to be anything too malicious. We've got Ritson's got a 5-second stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So this has really not been the race for him so far. But back towards the front of the field. And it's all hotting up in this battle for second. We've got from second down to Paul in 8th. With less than a second between all of them. But Phil's made a little mistake, and now he's got Paga all over the back of him. The Dutchman will be keen to get to podium in his first outing in TGP1. Has a look to the inside. He's going to have to wave the flag for Ferrari when Paul isn't. And that's a fantastic move up the inside. Phil had no answer for him with the DRS. And Paga's then up to 3rd. And now we're starting to see Jake gap this little group a little bit. So are they going to be able to just sort of think, come on boys, let's keep this together, let's not be stupid, and let's try and get up to the back of the Force India driver who runs wide out of the Parabolica. And we've got Softy in the pits. Softy pits again. I don't know if this is scheduled. Both Toro Rosso's pitting early, and we've got Paga having to defend from Phil, who's going around the outside and doesn't really need the braking zone because with the DRS and the long straight, though, Paga's trying to hold on to it but cannot, and this is going to allow Johners. Finally, we're saying Jonas' name up in the top 5 this race. He might be able to sniff his way into the podium positions. But Paga is not leaving Phil alone. And Phil is going to want him, or Phil's going to want to gap him as soon as possible, because with these 2 DRS zones spread across the track quite evenly, and Phil again just gets in the power a little bit too early. He did the last time in Lesmo 1 and runs wide of Lesmo 2. And Paga's going to be all over the back of the Red Bull driver. Here we go then, DRS deployed. Phil's going to try and cover the inside, is he? He tries to, and Paga's not close enough and gets very close to the back of the Red Bull. Is he taking some front wing damage? I think he might have from that. Oh dear. And there definitely seems to be a little less red on the front of that Ferrari. And that could really help Johners. And are we going to see... Oh, he's definitely struggling. You can see the turning's not happening for him. And is he going to pit? Paga does, and Johners almost looked like he was following him in there. Got out of it at the last moment, but it's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Softy, who at the moment is on the back straight coming towards the Parabolica. And is the Dutchman... Oh, in the mix of all this, Martin and Paul have been having a little battle, unseen by myself. But Martin stays ahead of the Ferrari driver. And Paga, who did have to change his front wing, of course, is going to lose out to Softy as Softy streaks past on the soft tyres. And is Jack Pearson even going to jump him? Not quite, although he's going to be close. He's picking up the slipstream. Jack Pearson then does get through into 12th place, and Jamie's going to have a little look now. Paga clambering all over the curbs, and he's lost out. And Jake's off, unseen by me. What's happened to Jake? He spun it. Oh no! The reigning champion, he's lost his front wing. What a disaster for the Force India driver. It's not been a good day for the Force India so far. We got one in 16th and the other one in 8th with no front wing and half a lap to the pit stop. Luca is up to 7th meanwhile. Great debut from him, and Dom Smith is run wide but surely going to be past the stricken Force India now, who will have to take a pit stop no matter what. We got Phil in the box as well. Anyone else joining him? Yes, they are. Martin's in, Paul's in. It's going to be a race of the 3 mechanics, all line astern in the pit lane. Who's going to be quickest? Is Phil going to get held up? No, he's not. Now we look at Martin. He's out quite smoothly. What about Paul? He has to wait for Martin. Disaster. Where's Softy? Softy's coming out to the start-finish line now. Has he jumped all 3? He has. Softy takes what would be a net second place after Jake's spin. And the Toro Rosso driver, who was quietly confident, didn't really shine out in qualifying, but has worked his strategy very nicely. Both the Toro Rossos have, because Jack Pearson is doing a very good job at the moment of holding up Jamie and Paga, who of course qualified 2nd and 3rd, but having their little misdemeanors have ended up towards the wrong end of the order. So the field struck out a little bit now, or strung out even a little bit now. So we've got Johners yet to pit, Owen yet to pit in 3rd, having a quiet race for Red Bull, but is there. Chiapelli up 12 positions where he started in the Sauber. The Italian will want a good result in front of Tone Krause. James has got past Dom Smith, unseen by me, in the Williams on the alternative strategy with the 2 Saubers, but hasn't really been making inroads as much as he would have wanted. And then, of course, we have got the aforementioned Dom Smith in 6th place. So keep an eye on the Saubers, see if they're going to go in. We got the leading 2 in the pits. Well, I say in the pits. One of them's just leaving. So Odems then has pitted and come out comfortably ahead of the Toro Rossos and the 6th. Oh, and we got Luca off there, well off. And James is going to be all over the back of him, He's passed him. A disaster for Luca there, and Softy and Phil have both got back ahead of Johners, but that's been a good stint for Johners, getting him into that position well ahead of Martin now and Paul. And we've still got Jack Pearson. A little bit of a cork in the bottle for Paga and Jamie at the moment, and Paga has got past Jamie, but Paga's not going to want to be behind Jack Pearson for long. Phil Pargewell's got a 3-second penalty. Disaster for Phil. Paga's having a look on the inside of the chicane, but not close enough yet. Jack Pearson a little bit ropey, getting on the curb a little bit. He's going to want to watch those. But into Lesmo 1 now. Oh, and Jack's gone wide. He's gone well off. Jack Pearson's on the grass. He takes out the 100-metre marker board and loses 2 positions and an awful lot of grip. And disaster for the Toro Rosso driver there, who's running a good race, but now has let these 2 quicker drivers, you must say, go to try and catch Paul and try and catch both their teammates, actually. So we've now got Owen in the pits. Are any of the people behind going to follow? No, neither Sauber does. James got ahead of Luca, of course. Owen then going on to the Super Softs. Is he going to be one to watch towards the end of this race? And where's he going to come out in relation to Paga and Jamie? Ritson's got a 3-second penalty at the back and a lap down. It's not going well for him. Owen's now leaving the pits. Paul's got him. What about Paga and Jamie? We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. That is for Ritson. And coming down into turn 1, and Owen's ahead of the Dutchman and one of the title favourites. 2 of the title favourites, you'd have to say, fall behind Owen Quimby, thanks to their unfortunate errors throughout the race. So now we just have 3 drivers yet to pit. We've got the Fighting Saubers, who are all over the back of each other. Dom Smith then. This is the battle for who's going to get team priority for the rest of the season, you must say. And Softy's not going to want to get stuck behind these 2 for very long. Is Luca going to go defensive into Ascari? He's going to want to put on a show for his home fans.
Sitting in this lap, Dom.
Okay. And we heard over the team. Softy's got a 3-second time penalty for. Wow. Phil's only 2 seconds back, and we've got Dom going past Luca, who we heard over the team radio is pitting this lap. Oh, but Luca's keeping his foot in there. Although himself the fastest lap, these 2 you feel are just battling for merit. James has got a 5-second stop and go for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, what a muppet. He was running a fantastic race, the Williams driver, But now, oh dear. You think from a 6-time world champion. Oh dear. Just, he's inside, Luca. Oh, not yet, boy. Save it for later. But, James, you'd think from a 6-time world champion would know better to apply a pit lane limiter. I don't know. Maybe I'm being hypercritical. But he's going to have to serve it, and he's got no choice. Jack Pearson then rounds out just outside the top 10. So let's watch Dom a little bit. Let's give him a little bit of airtime, the Sauber team. Actually, we'll go live to Dom Smith. Dom Smith, it's been a solid race for both you and Luca so far. You had a good battle as well. Where do you see yourself ending up? Surely points have got to be the goal.
I've got to say, all race, me and Luca have been right at it. We've been having so many good battles, passing each other, left, right, and centre. So it's been good so far. But I think, realistically, Mike, it's going to be 9th or 10th at best. I don't know where everyone else is in perspective to me, but I've made a mistake again. But I think 9th or 10th is what I'm looking for at the moment. Hopefully, you get some good points.
Brilliant job, Dom. Thank you for that. And he's going to have to watch out for Phil Bargewell at the moment, who's going to be pushing like hell to catch Softy with that. Jack Pearson, those Tara Rossos are in the wars at the moment with 3-second penalties. And Dom Smith, I did hear there, is going to box. So let's watch him into the pits, getting it under the pit lane speed limiter, unlike James. So well done, Dom. You've beaten a 6-time champion or something. And let's see if the Sauber mechanics can give him a good service. And we're going to also be keeping an eye on Luca. Where is he? Down in 15th, so he's behind Silent Assassin as well, so that's not good. But where is Dom going to come out in relation to these drivers? He comes to the exit of the pits now. You have to say, he's comfortably ahead of Luca. What's happened to Luca on his outlap? Oh dear, disaster for the Italian. And I had a little bit of team radio there. Sorry, Luca?
This is for a new wing.
So was that the reason why him and Dom were a little closer than normal? I don't know, don't want to cause a stir.
I've got that much too, mate. I just chose not to change mine.
Well, Dom Smith get a little irate on the team radio there. This battle's going to keep going through the whole of the race. But meanwhile, we got Pagger all over the back of Owen Quimby, and Owen's all over the back of Paul McGuinness. So unseen by us, Paul's got past Owen, I believe. I may be wrong. But these three are going to be embroiled in a nice little battle in a minute, and they're going to bring Jamie with them. Jamie, of course, on the medium tyres, having to pit on lap 1. But are we going to see a change of order between 6th and 9th? Of course, these boys battling for at best 9 points at the moment, thanks to the unique point system we run here in TGP1. And at the moment, we've got points going all the way down to 14th. So it's just Luca, no pressure, who's not going to be scoring points so far. At his home race, that's not going to how he wanted to start his career for Sauber, and in TGP1 as Jamie really late on the brakes, just letting Pagger know he's there. Keep an eye out for me, because if you don't have a go at these two in a minute, then you'll find me sliding my way out the inside. So, Owen and Paul, two veterans of TGP, both TGP2 champions, both in top teams, expecting some big things this season from these two in terms of, well, I think one of them, well, they both should be aiming for a top 5 finish, but are they going to do it? I think Paul would have liked to have been a bit higher so far, racing in the Ferrari in front of the Tifosi, and Owen is just going to want to pick up as many points and challenge for the podiums. I think that's where these two both should be, just sort of pushing for podiums. And are we going to see them a little bit? It's not going to happen this race at the moment, but will it happen later in the year? Also, a thing to point out, Phil is only 2.7 off of Softy. With that 3-second penalty, the Red Bull driver will move up into 2nd place. Jack Pearson is the up. Oh, of course, Phil also made a mistake, and well, so that cancels that out. But Johners could end up, well, easily with a 3rd, and if he gets close enough to Phil, could end up with a 2nd. But Owen then in the DRS. Paul goes to the inside, Owen to the outside, up to turn 1, the difficult braking zone. Owen late on the brakes. He's gone wide. Oh no, Paul's going to try and keep it there. Owen on the super soft tyres. Is he going to have more grip on the exit? Going into the fast right-hander now. Paul's holding the inside, Owen's holding the outside. Pagger's going to want to be getting involved in this too, and Jamie's going to want to be there if there's any incident. We've got the 2 Ferraris lined as 3rd. Owen's going to try up the inside of Paul, is he? Paul gives him room. Maybe a little bit of contact. The camera angles are rubbish. But for the time being, somehow, these 4 end up out of that corner in the same order as they went into it. between these four, we have 3 different tyre compounds being used. Owen then on the DRS. Paul's going to have to go defensive into Ascari, and he does already. Jamie and Paga are too far back. Paul's going to try and hold on to this, but Owen round the outside. What a move from the Red Bull driver. And surely he's got to chase off now and try and get as far away from these 3 as possible, but I don't think that's going to happen. Paga's having a look on Paul into Parabolica, but that's not going anywhere. So are we going to see a last lap dive bomb? As we are on the last lap now, Odem's, well, we've forgotten about him, 12 seconds ahead of second. But let's concentrate on the battle then for 6th place. Paul's got DRS. He has to go defensive for his teammate right at the death. And, Paul's gone a bit deep there. And that's going to really hamper his exit. And Owen might have just done enough to get away from these 3 after all. And Paga then is going to want to try and beat his teammate in the opening round. Jamie's going to be disappointed with 9th at the moment. But that is the best he's getting so far. Paul goes defensive into the tricky chicane. And for the time being, at least, hold on to it. And as much as I want to stay with this battle, we're going to have to skip to the leader. We haven't really spoken about him much because he hasn't needed to be spoken about. He's just got here and got on with exactly what he needed to do. Fastest lap after fastest lap is what's been the cure. And Odems, in his first race in TGP1 for the Haas team, he wins the Italian Grand Prix in spectacular style. Softy is going around the Parabolica now. He will finish second. In the meantime, Dom Smith got a penalty, which is crucial in this battle with Luca. Softy comes home second. Phil Bargewell is going to be third for the time being. But where's Jonas going to end up? He jumps Phil, and Jonas rounds off the podium for the time being. Martin, a quiet performance, but comes home 5th. Owen is going to be 6th, and the 2 Ferraris line astern, but Paga's done it and finishes 7th ahead of Paul in 8th. Jamie will be 9th. Jack Pearson. Oh no, what's happened here? Yeah. Oh. Something's happened to me already. There we go. Right, okay, that's happened. So Jamie's going to be 9th. We've got Jack Pearson came home in 10th in the end. Jake, what a disappointment for him. He's going to be 11th, but still scoring some decent points for the championship. But there we go. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. We didn't see much action from the front, but we didn't need it. And as the drivers are going to come out onto the podium now, where are they? They're just having their cool off at the moment. A little glass of water and a little rub down before bedtime. Here they are in front of the Italian fans. And it's Odems who's on the top step. Great result for him. And he lifts the first place trophy. Great result. Softy in second. And Jonas will be pleased with 3rd after his performance in qualifying. The champagne being sprayed over each other. The cameraman trying to get out of it. And the fans are loving every moment of this. And if this season is going to be exciting as the race, we should be in for a classic. So we'll give you a run down the order. So Odems wins his first race. He comes home first. Then we've got Softy in second for the Toro Rosso. Jonas came home 3rd after Phil's penalty, which put him 4th. Martin, the reigning TGP2 champion, came home 5th. And Owen in 6th. So good result there for 2 TGP2 formers. Paga comes home 7th. He'll just be disappointed with that. Paul McGuinness in 8th, and after starting 15th, I don't think we'll be too disappointed either. Jamie will be in 9th after starting on the front row. Then Jack Pearson rounds out the top 10 in 10th. Then Jake, of course, having that spin towards the end of the first stint, is 11th. And then we have the rest of the field making up the last few point scoring positions, with only Luca not scoring a point from round 1. So that's been your Italian Grand Prix, and we now move on to the Spanish Grand Prix.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to introduce Michael Noon to the commentary.
Hello, welcome to a very wet Barcelona for round 2 of the 29th season of TGP1. And round 1, we had Odems absolutely dominating proceedings, taking the win by 12 seconds, and at the moment at least, it's not quite as dominant so far, with less than a 10th difference at the top of the time screens at the moment. So we'll have a little rundown of the order. Let's see what we've got. So as I said, Jonas just over half a tenth behind Odems. Then we've got Silent Assassin, who struggled a bit in race 1. At the moment, just 4 attempts off pole. His teammate at the moment joining him on the second row. A hugely disappointing race for the reigning champion, who managed to spin at the end of stint 1. Paga, who was on for great things before hitting the back of, I think it was a Red Bull or a Renault, at the moment in P5. Martin, well, put in a solid performance in Italy, and at the moment at least is putting in another one in P6. Softy pulling out, well, a performance we all knew he could do, but he didn't think he could do. In Italy, finishing 7th, but at the moment in 7th on the grid. Paul was nowhere in qualifying after bidding it, and had a fantastic battle with his teammate, which we hear from sources inside the Ferrari camp that Maurizio Arrivabene wasn't too happy with. But that's yet to be confirmed. I mean, that was Paul, so it's probably a lie. And we've got Phil Bartrell at the moment. He would have been disappointed to get kicked off the podium with an unfortunate penalty, but at the moment sits in 9th in qualifying. And then rounding out the top 10, we have Owen, who put in the Stelling drive in Italy. So that's your top 10 for qualifying at the moment. The driver's just coming out. Oh, and we've got Odem's in the wall. Bloody hell, he saved that one. No, he hasn't. He's in the wall. And that's qualifying over. He's lost off his front wing. And that's that. Dan the man is left. Oh, come back, Dan. 4-time champion in the McLaren.
Do I feel a faster track?
Oh, no, and Odem's car has taken out some of the marker boards, so watch that and go into turn 1, boys. Well, just as we thought that Odem's was about to start a lap of dreams, started a disaster. Who have we got on the lap at the moment? We've got Silent Assassin just winding himself up into turn 1. That McLaren at the moment coping well with the very, very tricky conditions. He's going to want to now take advantage of the track, which will be rubbing in with more cars going around it. What's his Sector 1 like? It's a 26.4 through Sector 1. I have no idea if that's good or not. Coming up now to Sandbird Corner. Oh, Owen's gone pole. There he is. We said pre-season he's good in the wet. And there's the proof in the pudding.
Wow,
Red Bull driver,
son of a bitch.
2 temps quicker than anyone else. His teammate Phil can't go any quicker, and he's going to be 8 temps off his teammate. What a disaster for Phil. And it's anyone else going to... Well, game on, boys. Let's see how this goes. Silent Assassin up to Sector 2. He's done a 26.4 again. So surely can't have done 2 26.4s. Come on. Well, he might have done. We'll find out. Through the now very tricky final sector. It used to be so much fun, the drivers, with these 2 fast right-handers. Now with this tricky right and then a tricky technical left-right before a power-up corner of the last turn. Silent Assassin then with 20 seconds to go will get another run. But is this lap going to be any better? He's 6 temps off the pace at the moment. He will go to... He improves by 2 temps. So Paga goes pole. The jubilations were short-lived for Owen. The Ferrari driver does exactly what he needs to do. The first man to dip into the 32s. Martin, the first man to cross the line. He's going to be no better than 5th. Dan the man joined and left, unfortunately. And Jamie Day down there in 12th place. God, he's going to be no better. We've got Owen finishing a lap now. Is he going to go any faster than the Dutchman? Owen Quimby. Round the... Oh, he nearly bins it. So that means he's going to be second at best. Where's Jonas? Jonas is just halfway through the lap, so we'll see if anyone else is any closer. Jake Davies, he's finishing Sector 2. Paul McGuinness goes 3rd, so at the moment it's a Ferrari 1-3. Maurizio Arrivabene will have its smile back on his face with this one so far. What is everyone else doing though? Softcott, where's he? He's just finishing Sector 2 at the moment. We'll see how he gets it on, but I think we're going to turn our attention to Jake for the time being. The reigning TGP1 champion, sideways through the right-hander. Now the tricky final chicane. Get it nicely hooked up, a little bit of curb, nice on the power on the exit. And up to the line. Where is the reigning champion going to go? He goes up to... second, just a 10th off. Whoa, what a lap from the Welshman. And we got Jonas next across the line. Where's he going to go? Jonas goes pole. And Paga's now the next to the line. Is he going to go quicker? No. And we just got Softy to wait for, and he doesn't improve. So through all of that, the man from Harlow, Essex, takes yet another pole position in TGP1, the two-time champion. And if you'd offered him that at the start of the evening, he would have bitten your hand off for it. He was not confident about his pace at all. So let's give you a rundown of the order. So we got John, as I said, in the Renault on the front on pole. Paga joining him on the front row in the Ferrari. Jake, the reigning TGP1 champion, in third. Then Owen, great lap from him, in fourth. Softcop did go up to fifth in the end. Paul McGuinness down to sixth. It looked so promising for him towards the end. Odem's the championship leader in 7th, Martin in 8th, Silent Assassin 9th, then we got James in 10th, rounding out your top 10, then Phil way down in 11th, Jamie Day way down in 12th, Dan the Man in 13th, and then we had the likes of Jack Pearson, Dom Smith, Luca and Ritson rounding out the rest of the order. So the forecast for today gave it to be a dry race, and it is. We got some lovely sunshine. So isn't it amazing what 2 seconds can do to the weather? And so all the drivers, there'll be the final little chats, the final little look over everyone's cars, everyone else's cars, and hopefully Phil Barger won't be caught with some bricks and some knives anywhere near anyone else's. We know what he's like. And but well, I think we should be in for a cracker here. We got the fastest guy on the grid down in 7th, and this could be interesting. This is going to be, tune in and sit down, fasten yourself in as well as the drivers, because this is going to be a hell of a race. We got 2 lights, 3, 4, 5 lights. And the lights go out for the Spanish Grand Prix for TGP1 Season 29. It's a great start from Paga. He's already alongside Jonas. Jonas having to go defensive from Jake, and the 3 of them almost touch. Softy is going to keep his nose out of this for the moment. Odems is trying it around the outside and is already up to 5th. Great start from him. And it's Owen that's lost out big time, but Jonas, in his awful helmet design, currently leads the Spanish Grand Prix, but Paga's not letting him go. Jake's not letting him go either, and Paga has to defend last minute from Jake Davies there. Softcop still getting in the mix and had a good exit, and he's already passed his sparring partner from last year. Is he not quite into Sandberg corner? Jake Davies up the inside of Paga, a little bit push come to shove there, but he's got past him, has he? For the moment he has, and Odems is alongside Softy and got through on Softy. Great start from the man leading the championship, who won his debut race. Whoa. Oh, and Softy and Paul nearly come together, and oh, Softy's off the wall. Big accident. And
what are you doing?
Oh, it's all kicking off, and we've lost already. Okay, oh, and Paga's now spun into Odems. Oh, they're both off. Imagine, oh, so Odems has lost half his front wing. Paga's barely going, and lost half his front wing either. Huge drama at the end of lap 1. And that means that John has got a huge lead, and Softy is still sat there without a wheel. Oh, dear God.
What is Odems?
What happened, Paul? What happened?
Dan the man's off.
And Dan's out as well. Oh, Dan, no. God, we have lost 2 champions in the space of half a lap, and both Odems and Paga are now in the pits. And, well, I said it was going to be an interesting start, and that is what we've got. Jonas has got his lead up to 1.2 already. Paul is up to 3rd. He's got half a front wing though, and it looked like it was going to be all over him in a blink of an eye. But it was Softy who came off worse in the end. And we got the 2 Red Bulls in 4th and 5th. Phil's had a fantastic start in the interim, thanks to all the carnage. Paga's out as well. Oh dear. He's binned it on the exit of the pits. So can we see a safety car? I mean, we've lost 3 cars in a matter of minutes. So we'll give you time to catch your breath a second. I might need to too. But the order as it stands so far, as we come towards the end of lap 2, is Jonas from the reigning champion Jake. Paul, with his damaged front wing, is in 3rd, holding off at the moment the 2 Red Bulls. So after Owen and Phil, we've got Martin, then we've got Jamie, who suddenly finds himself in a great position to get us back some points he lost, and we've got Sauber off in the background, but rejoined. Some points he lost in round 1. Jake sets the fastest lap and to up the gap to Jonas to under a second, and with DRS coming into play, this lap's going to be interesting as well. So we've got the 2 Mercedes, Linus 3rd, 6th and 7th, James up to 8th, Jack Pearson in 9th, we've got Ritson in 10th, who had a bit of a shocking race 1, but Dom Smith up the inside of the Force India driver. That's getting pretty close. Oh, that was a great little tussle there. And somehow they both come away, all cars intact by the looks of things.
Whoa.
Luca in 12th. Someone's screaming, oh, we've got Jack Pearson's off, oh, he's in the wall! Oh no! What's going on the Toro Rosso?
He just lost it, he just lost it.
Jack's got half a front wing and nearly a whole lap to do. And as we can see now, the top two separated by just 3 tenths. I know that Owen's only 3 tenths behind Paul, but this is where the battle's at. Jake running a little bit wide, he's squirreling with the DRS open, and he can't make a move. No, he can't. Is Owen going to make a move on Paul? No, he's not. These two rekindling their love for fighting against each other from Italy. They had a great battle for a lot of laps, which led in Paul losing a lot of time. It's Phil breaks late for the long right-hander and nearly ends up changing gears for his teammate. So, as we get onto the main straight, Jake is right up the back of Jonas. These two fought a lot last season. They're fighting already. Jonas is having to go defensive. Pushes Jake onto the grass. And didn't realise Jake was a lawnmower in his spare time, but for the time being, Jonas, in his awful helmet design, which you can't really tell he's in that car, sort of blend in. And Jake's lost actually some of his front wing from this little incident. Wow. Did Jonas swipe too late? He's going to struggle for a couple of laps until he pits, and will he want to change it? He's going to lose so much time. But with Paul 3.5 seconds back, he might not lose many positions. And Paul has got to really keep his eye on Owen, but there's still only 3 tenths separating the top two, as Odem's down in 13th place as Jack Pearson pits, sets the fastest lap of the race on those medium tyres. But Jake now just 2.5 tenths off Jonas. Is he going to make a move down into turn 9? No, he doesn't. He sticks behind him, but it clips him again. He's going to want to stop doing that, because if he is losing front wing, he's going to lose even more. Paul still clinging on to the podium positions we are. Phil's dropped back a bit into the clutches of Jamie. We've got a yellow flag, and it's James has spun. What is going on for James O'Connor? He's dropped behind both Saubers, and then those three's battle continues. Meanwhile, at the front, Jake 3 tenths off of Jonas in the DRS zone. Is he going to make a late lunge to the inside? Jonas is trying to defend as much as he can. Late on the brakes, but not late enough. Paul's defending from Owen and stays in front of the Red Bull driver so far. Jack Pearson's in trouble towards the back, and is backwards and once again without a front wing. So Jack Pearson really struggling, and Jake is all over the back of Jonas. Now Jonas doing some grass cutting into Sandberg corner. No move yet, and we've got Paul and Owen. Owen and Paul side by side. And Paul outbrakes himself a little bit. He's really struggling with his front wing damage, and Jamie's all over the back of this as well now. So we're once again locked in a 4-way battle with a Ferrari, a Mercedes and a Red Bull. This has happened all far too often so far this season. Wouldn't it be fantastic if this continues? Phil Bardwell on DRS. Not Phil Bardwell. Well, he is on the DRS. But here we go. Phil Bardwell at the inside of his teammate. No, I think he was just shielding off from Jamie, who's bringing his teammate in turn into this battle soon as well. So this is far from over. I'll tell you what else is far from over. And, well, it's not Jack Pearson's race. He might as well give up now. All the penalties he's got, the front wings he's gone through. But the battle for the lead continues. We can see the remnants of Dan's brake dust on the side of the track. Jonas immediately again goes defensive. Now are we going to see a move from the Force India driver? Not yet. Jonas just seems to have the straight line speed to deal with him, apart from when Jake was alongside. And Owen in the background is side by side with Paul, and around the outside he goes. And the man from Norfolk is up into third as Phil Bardwell, unseen by us, pitted. So the man who's flying off to Bahrain in a few days' time, we wish Owen all the best. We get a fantastic aerial shot of the Red Bull and the Ferrari. Is he going to start gapping Paul now? It's going to be interesting to see if Jamie can dispose of the Ferrari driver relatively quickly. The man from Scotland is doing all right at the moment with his damaged wing, but I tell you who else is doing better, and that's Jonas' defensive driving of Jake. And Jake is all over the back of him and trying to go around the outside now. He's sticking to it. Jonas runs him off the road. Whoa, is that a bit naughty? Don't know about me, don't know about you, but we'll see. I'm sure Jake will have words about that, but he's not exactly far from the back of the man from Harlow. The Welshman is surely going to try and send one. Oh, Jonas pits, and so does Jake. The top two in the pits, and very late on the brakes. Oh, I clenched my toes and fists just watching Jake there. I think most of the top 5 are coming to the pits except Jamie. Jake then puts on the medium tyres, swiftly out of the box again. Where's Jonas? Jonas. Has Jake jumped him? Not quite. Oh, barely anything in it. They're line astern as they leave. And where's Odem's going to be in all this? Is he going to be anywhere near? No, he's not. As we see Dom Smith having a go. Oh no, it was Luca Chiavelli having a go at Ritson. That was. Ritson's come and gone again. What a shame. Jake has lost a little bit of time to Jonas thanks to the stops, but is still within striking distance. Phil Bargewell just 3.5 seconds back, and we'll now have a little bit of time to breathe and catch up. And if he's there, we're going to try and have a chat with the man who the race didn't last much longer than the first 2 sectors. Softy, well,
yes.
Purely and simply, what happened?
Well, I got a really good start, to be fair, as we see Jake losing part of his front wing on Mr. Chiappelli. But basically, through Campsar, I got a really good run, seems everyone's fighting, but I don't know what happened. I think it might have just gone slow because, obviously, I don't know what they was battling. Obviously, hit the side of, what's his face, Odem's, obviously, and, end of. Couldn't have any grip or traction
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Softy, but we've got a virtual safety car, and Jamie is pitted at the right time for this indeed. Where's this going to put him in relation to the top 2?
Yes. He's done a battle.
James has also pitted through this, but got another drive-through penalty for speeding in the under the safety car. What's he doing? What is he doing? Jake's also in the pits. What happened to Jake?
He got damage of Luca, I think.
Jamie comes out, and Jonas is still ahead.
Ending.
And as the search of safety car I hear is ending, Jamie Day. Wow, this could be his day, because he's pitted, got well ahead of Phil and the battle he was involved in. Phil's jumped Owen as well, but is now all over the back of Jonas. Jake is down to 12th with his pitting incident, dropped behind Odems as well. Real shame for him. Well, what is going to happen over the next 10 laps? Your guess is as good as mine. Here's Jamie. He's already within half a second of Jonas. What a sterling effort that's been from the Mercedes crew to get him right where he needs to be. That extra lap he stayed out for was critical, and that's put him right where he needs to have a go at the man from Harlow. Further down the field, we have any battles going on. We've got Paul just over half a second off Silent Assassin in the McLaren. Phil is still spitting feathers that he's not in second place at the moment. And well, if we thought this race wasn't exciting enough, we've just added another dimension. But we're going to go. We're going to try and go live to someone else now. We're going to. Dom and Luca are having a little battle, so let's try and get Luca's perspective from the race this time. Luca, how's it all going for the Sauber? You're currently running in 9th. You and your team are having another little battle. Dom, he sounds just pitted, but is this how you would have wanted this race to have gone?
Yeah, this race has been going well. I mean, we've had a few incidents from Ritson and from Jamie Day, but other than that, the race is going quite smoothly. It's going just to plan.
That's fantastic news, and surely you can get a good haul of points for Sauber today as well.
I'm hoping so, yeah. I mean, we've got... I took full advantage of the VSC to get my pit stop done, and hopefully that'll help with a few more points in the bag today.
Fantastic news. We're now going to go down again to... Oh, Jake Davies in the wall! Oh, dear! Crash, bang, out. I just cut to him just before it was game over. He was going through his teammate, overtaking him, and is now out of the race. Oh, well. What is going on? This race, it's Odems, thanks to the extreme luck he's had so far, and a lot of speed, admittedly, has made his way back up to 8th, just behind the battling Paul and the McLaren of Silent Assassin. Martin pitted a great time to pit as well. He's made his way up to 5th. Owen Quimby will be annoyed. He's in 4th after everything that's happened, but that's where he is. But we still got the front 2 trading punches, and at the moment, I have to say, Jonas has driven flawlessly. He's had 2 different people to put up with, but now he's got Jamie with the DRS. He's hugging the inside line. James is going to have to go around the outside just the same as Jake did. Jonas, is he going to do the same as what he did to Jake? He is, just runs him out of road, and that's that. So it might be forceful, but you have to say it's not exactly unfair. And Jamie is going to have to try something pretty spectacular, I think, to outwit the man from Harlow, who's got the bits between his teeth. His spurs are on, the rider's kicking him, and he knows exactly what he's got to do. Oh, we've got VSC again. Is that for the incident with Jake? Is his car still stricken? I think it's back in the pits now, but you do have to feel for the Welshman. 2 races, he's been where he needs to, and I mean, I haven't seen the videos of his incident on board, but through fault of his own, it's going to end up with not much. And James has got another 5-second penalty, this time for speeding in the pit lane, and his night's going from bad to worse. I'd like to give a little shout out. We mentioned Luca, but Dom Smith, his teammate, right up there as well. Sauber's going to be scoring well today. That's what's. Oh wait, Misha Countborn isn't there anymore, is she? That's what.
Fred Vasseur,
or the mysterious Sauber boss is going to be liking the look of. The virtual safety car, I think, it's about to be ending. Yep. I don't know. I haven't had confirmation. I've still got virtual safety car on my screen, but I don't think they're going as slowly as they were. No, and we are. We're green. DRS is back online, which is what James is going to want to hear, because he's still all over the back of Jean-Luc Taylor, and Silent Assassin now is all over the back of Martin as well. Watch out for that a little bit further down the battle for 5th. I think Jonas has got another gap so far, because he seems to have a rocket ship entitled Jean-Luc Taylor down the straight line. Across the line, he's too far back this lap, but are we going to see a move from Silent Assassin on Martin? He's 4 attempts down, but I think Martin has got DRS. No, he hasn't. So they're definitely going to get close, but maybe on this lap at least, no cigar. Martin is keeping Owen honest as well. He's going to get DRS from him in a couple of laps. So this little battle for 4th, which again seems to involve Owen and Paul. And I did say in the last race, this is where these two need to be racing, and they are. And they're doing well so far, so keep an eye out for them, as we've still got Jamie all over the back of Jonas out front. Jack Pearson is 1 minute and 11 behind Dom Smith, and only 13 seconds ahead of Ritson, who's coming in and out of this more than Abe Simpson is coming in and out of the hotel room. And Jamie is all over the back of Jonas and is surely poised to make a move sooner rather than later. Jonas has only got 6 more laps to hold on. It'll be 5 at the end of this one.
Martin.
And Owen and Martin, there's only a temp separating them, but I'm sorry, Paul, at the time I'm going to have a look at these guys down into turn 1, see if we're going to have any change in the lead. Jamie on the DRS, he's in the slipstream, but Jonas is just pulling away. So that's that then. Martin then, we're on board with. Owen is the car in front. He hasn't got DRS. Martin has. Martin moves to the inside. Owen's going to make it a little bit tricky, but he left the gap there. And Martin says, thank you very much. Runs Owen out wide. And that is 4th place for the reigning TGP2 champion, as Silent Assassin is getting quite interested in 5th. But running a little bit wide has meant Paul is up into 6th, is he? And he's now trying it on Owen as well. And that is P5 to the Scottish driver. What a move, getting past both of them. Silent Assassin's now trying it around the outside of Owen. Owen's dropping like a stone, because Silent Assassin has now got him at Sandberg corner around the outside. Owen's going to look it up the inside. Late on the brakes. And the man from Norfolk is up into 6th. I can tell you who's now joined this little battle. Odems. Down the man's left, it's a shame for him. Silent Assassin up the inside of Owen, he runs a little bit wide, and Owen's got him back, and Odems is trying into... Ooh, that would have been a little bit brave. A little bit brave, it would have been pretty bloody brave. But he didn't try it. He kept his nose there where he needs to. Back at the front, Jamie still behind Jonas, a little bit closer than he was last night, but I still don't think close enough to challenge the man from Harlow. We're going to go back to the battle for 6th. Silent Assassin got a little bit wayward on the exit. We know Owen likes to leave a little bit of space on the inside into turn 1. Is Silent Assassin going to be able to exploit it? I don't think he is. Is Odems going to be able to have a look at the inside? No. Settles for 8th at the moment. He can't risk taking off his front wing. We scoot back up the order now. Martin's pulled out 7 attempts to Owen, to Paul, sorry. And Paul's already pulled out a second half to Owen, so that just shows you how much Owen's struggling at the moment. Maybe it's the tyres, maybe it's the setup. Maybe Owen's going to go crazy. I'll tell you someone else is going crazy at the moment. And that's a certain man in a Mercedes who cannot seem to get past the widest Renault in the world.
Again?
Oh, again? Come on.
Give us the full thing.
Squelched.
Joseph Whiting, what are you doing? We want to see racing.
I'm sorry. Oh my, Jamie keeps almost using his front wing on the back of Jones's car. He needs to back off.
How close he gets to that Renault.
What is he doing? He's going to use his front wing.
He is itching to get past the man from Harlow. And he's going to want to capitalise on the restart. I think that's going to be his best chance with how quick Jonas is. Oh, and Jonas is weaving right in front of Jamie. And we're back racing. We're green. Is Jamie going to try one up the inside? No, not that brave. He needs to remember in the race 1, he had a disappointing result. And any points is good points. He's up the inside. Jonas left the gap and they've spun. Ooh.
They were drifting with each other.
They very nearly both ended up out of the race. But for the time being, it was forceful, but there was a gap. And Jamie is into P1. And it doesn't look like either of them have got any damage, but Jonas is going to be riled in the cockpit of that Renault. I can almost hear him moaning from the other party that he is in, inevitably. But is he going to be able to... We know that it's quick in a straight line. Is he going to be able to get close enough to the Mercedes to get past? Because everywhere else in the lap, he seems to be a little bit lacklustre. But with only 2.5 laps to go, you've got to feel a little bit sorry for Jonas because he has controlled the whole race. But he has lost out, seemingly where it matters. But he is still all out. He's got the bit between his teeth. Similarly,
Odems.
Odems is past Silent Assassin.
But he tried to
unseen by us.
It,
but Jonas is just 2 attempts off the back of Jamie. They've got a lapped car of Jack. Jonas is going to be at the inside as they cross the line. The gap was half a tenth, and Jonas has already got him by the braking zone because of the rocket that is in the back of that car. But Jamie's going to try and hold it off around the outside. Jonas pushes him wide, and there's no chance for Jamie to get him this time. And Jonas is, for most of this race at least, in P1, but Jamie is not letting him go.
No, Paul, no.
Jamie's round the outside. Jonas pushes him wide. Oh, nearly on the grass. And this is allowing Phil to catch up. Oh, no. Bloody hell, Jamie. Oh, you don't want to be trying one of those. At Sandberg corner, you've got to really commit. And at the moment, Phil Bargewell could still win this race. What a turn up for the books that would be. Jonas then is clinging on for dear India. And as we come in, it's all or nothing. Owen, meanwhile, further back in the battle for 5th. But it's the battle for the lead, which we're watching. Oh, all 3 of them are separated by less than a second. But who is going to win the Spanish Grand Prix? Phil is not going to win it. He's bottled it. Unless these two have a coming together. But Jonas just gets such a good exit out of that chicane every lap that he might have already done enough. But we know Jamie's not going to want to go down without a fight. And Jonas knows that in this sort of position, even though it's very early stages, as Odems has got past Owen further down the field, all of this is valuable points. And if he finishes where he is, or even in second, he will be leading the championship. And he's got to keep that to the back of his mind. as Jamie. Oh, you have to say it would be a shame if Jamie didn't win it. The race he's done and the strategy he pulled off. Vettel-esque, but at the moment at least, he is not in the hot seat. Jonas then, I think, well, Jamie's only got 2 chances left to overtake, and Jonas is not allowing him any space on the inside, and not on the outside by the looks of it either. Jamie's going to try and hold on to it though. Jonas runs him wide again. There's nearly contact, but Jonas does his old trick, and Dom Smith is retired. Oh no! I still think he'll finish 11th though, and I think Jonas has done enough. He has led 95% of this race, and he's going to lead them when it counts the most as well. Jonas wins the 2nd race of the TGP2 season, and he will be leading the title this evening as well. What a race from all 3 of them. Phil did well, but not quite close enough in the end. Odem's fantastic recovery for him to finish 5th as he bins it over the line somehow. Paul will be disappointed, I think, with 8th, considering how high up he was in his spin. He'll be disappointed with that.
Sake, why'd you do that?
Chiapelli is spun at the end as well, and he's going to finish 9th. James O'Connor, oh whoa, oh hello. That was where Chiapelli went off. Are they coming together?
He just collided straight into me.
What has happened between them 2? It's all kicked off. And, well, if any of you know what happened in that race, do let me know, because I don't. So, as they go into the podium, let's take time to have a little bit of a breather. Jonas then did what he had to do and what he didn't think he'd do, but he wins round 2 as he lifts the trophy in Barcelona. What a result for him. He'll be over the moon with that one. Jamie Day coming home 2nd. It wasn't quite his day, but he'll surely be hoping that next week will be. And Phil rounds off the podium. He does get his 3rd place in the end, which is what he would have wanted. For the photos then, the 3 drivers. Let's give you a rundown of the order. The winner from pole, Jean-Luc Taylor, great race from him. Jamie Day gave it all he could with a well-worked strategy, but couldn't better 2nd. Phil Bardwell, good recovery from him as well, qualifying 11th, comes home 3rd. Martin finished 4th, a good race from him. Odem, fantastic recovery after his first lap incident, finishes 5th. Owen comes home in 6th, he would have wanted more than that. Then we had Silent Assassin came home in 7th. Paul McGuinness in 8th. Chiapelli a fantastic 9th. James O'Connor rounding out the top 10 with Dom Smith, Ritson and Jack Pearson in 12th and 13th. And, well, I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. I'm going to need to take the rest of the week off just to recover my voice for next week. But we'll see you next week for rounds 3 and 4 of the TGP1 season. With thanks to SayerSports, and for tonight's coverage. It was as good as ever with the live stream. Thank you to all the drivers for their hard work and dedication as well, and for their insights during the race. Next week we will be in North and South America, where we start off for round 3 in Brazil, with then Mexico round number 4. So from the SayerSports team and I, thank you very much for joining. We'll see you on PS4.
Is this stream up now?